That's fine. Do it.
Welcome everybody to Elizabethtown City Council regular meeting for October 25th, 2019. And I'd like to start us off by asking Councilman Matt Deneen to lead us in invocation.
Join me in prayer, please. Father, we ask blessings on this wonderful city. We ask that you watch over the location, all those who are in out there, making a difference. We ask that you bless the entire community, this council, as we make decisions moving forward, the decisions we make. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. If you turn and face the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start off first with approval of minutes for September 30th, 2019. That is a motion and a second.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Which will bring us to the second reading of ordinance number 23, 2019, repealing and replacing previous ordinances related to alcoholic beverage control, creating regulations for the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages. Mrs. Shaw.
This, in summary, Mayor, this ordinance repeals and replaces ordinances pertaining to alcohol beverage control. Primarily, this ordinance repeals and replaces the prior ordinances relating to alcohol beverage control to follow statutory and regulatory changes. It modifies the hours of sale of alcoholic beverages to 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. Sunday through Saturday. It reestablishes annual licensing fees, removes the requirement of a background check, forbids alcohol in parking areas, and requires a defined physical boundary in any outdoor serving area, and establishes a procedure for the ABC administrator to follow for enforcement of the ordinance. And it was read the first time on the 30th of September, 2019.
Do we have any discussion? So I need a motion and a second to adopt.
So moved. Second.
It'll be a roll call vote starting with Councilman Bishop,
Yes.
Councilman Deneen,
Yes.
Councilman Fulkerson,
Yes.
Councilman Shipp,
Yes.
Councilman Wood.
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, so that brings ordinance number 24, 2019, establishing the regulatory license fee for the sale of alcoholic beverages in the city of Elizabethtown. Mrs. Shaw, please.
And again, Mayor, this being a second reading, this ordinance will set the regulatory license fee at 5% of gross sales of all alcoholic beverages sold by the drink or package effective January 1st, 2020. And this was also read for the first time on September 30th, 2019.
Any discussion on that? Need a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote again. Councilman Bishop,
Yes.
Councilman Deneen,
Yes.
Councilman Fulkerson,
Yes.
Councilman Shipp,
Yes.
Councilman Willoughby.
Yes.
Brings us to the first reading of ordinance number 25, 2019, amending ordinance 09, 2006, and ordinance 22, 2007, and adopting license requirements for mobile food vendors. Mrs. Shaw.
Whereas the Elizabethtown City Council desires to acquire the necessary funding to provide for the health, safety, and welfare of its citizens, and whereas the city finds it necessary to regulate mobile food vendors as a business entity due to their distinctive operations, now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Elizabethtown, Hardin County, Kentucky, that after the passage, approval, and publication of this ordinance is as follows. Certain provisions as noted in this ordinance for ordinance number 09, 2006 relating to the licensing of businesses are amended as follows. Under section 1, titled Definitions, under item 19, a mobile food vendor, as used in this ordinance, mobile food vendor means any individual or entity that only operates a food establishment which is on wheels and mobile, in which both prepared and prepackaged food is sold. Examples are a food truck, trailer, or cart. A mobile food unit that is associated with a restaurant is, as defined in this ordinance, is not considered a mobile food vendor under the definition of this ordinance, and all food sales from such units shall be reported with the overall sales of the restaurant and pay all applicable taxes as required by KRS 91A.400. And then 20, the restaurant is defined as used in this ordinance. The restaurant means any fixed commercial establishment with a permanent physical location that engages in the preparation and serving of ready-to-eat foods in portions to the consumer, including but not limited to restaurants, coffee shops, cafeterias, short-order cafes, luncheonettes, grills, tea rooms, sandwich shops, soda fountains, roadside stands, catering kitchens, delicatessen, or similar places in which food is prepared for sale or consumption on the premises or elsewhere. Not included in the definition of a restaurant for purposes of this ordinance are school cafeterias, which are operated by the school system, food vending machines, hospital cafeterias owned by a governmental entity, and cafeterias that are located inside industrial factories in which services are limited to employees only. Under section 2, which is titled Occupational License Application Required, under item 2, states effective January 1st, 2020, all mobile food vendors are required to pay on a calendar year basis an annual business license fee of $250. The mobile food vendor will not be required to file a monthly restaurant tax return as required by ordinance number 22, 2007. All licenses expire December 31st each year. Mobile food vendors are exempt from filing a return as required by section 6 of ordinance number 09, 2006. This license fee does not apply to any restaurant business that has a permanent physical location inside the city limits of Elizabethtown and also operates a mobile food unit. Any such business shall be required to file monthly restaurant tax returns, obtain an annual business license, remit any occupational withholdings due, and file an annual net profits license fee return as required by ordinance number 09, 2006 and ordinance number 22, 2007. Under section 3, entitled Occupational License Tax Payment Required, under section L, it says any mobile food vendor that only participates in city-sponsored events or festivals shall be exempted from obtaining a city occupational license. However, they shall be required to pay the applicable vendor setup fee associated with each city event or festival. Under section 13, entitled Duties of the Director of Finance, is item 3. The Director of Finance and/or any of his/her deputies may choose to enforce the provisions of this ordinance through the Elizabethtown Code Enforcement Board after proper notice to any business entity of any violation. And then item 4 is added. If the Finance Department pursues enforcement through the code enforcement citation procedures against a mobile food vendor and the vendor is located at the same property location for more than 2 violation occurrences, then a citation may also be issued against the property owner. Certain provisions as noted in this ordinance for ordinance number 22, 2007 relating to restaurants are amended as follows. Under section 1 of definitions, under A, it takes out the language that includes references to the mobile food vendor and the street vendor. Then item C is added. Mobile food vendor, as used in this chapter, mobile food vendor means any individual or entity that only operates a food establishment which is on wheels and mobile, in which both prepared and prepackaged food is sold. Again, the examples are food truck, trailer, or cart. A mobile food unit that is associated with a restaurant as defined in this ordinance is not considered a mobile food vendor under the definition of this ordinance, and all food sales from such units shall be reported with the overall sales of the restaurant and pay all applicable taxes as required by KRS 91A.400. In section 2, we add the title of taxing rate. 2A, it says on and after July 1st, and that just references to the restaurant tax. Okay, and then adds 2B. Effective January 1st, 2020, all mobile food vendors are required to pay on a calendar year basis an annual business license fee of $250. The mobile food vendor will not be required to file a monthly restaurant tax return. All licenses expire December 31st of each year. This fee does not apply to any restaurant business that has a permanent physical location inside the city limits of Elizabethtown and also operates a mobile food unit. Any such business shall be required to file the monthly restaurant tax returns, obtain an annual business license, remit any occupational withholdings due, and file an annual net profits license fee return as required by city ordinance. And then adds 2C, which states any mobile food vendor that only participates in city-sponsored events or festivals shall be exempted from this license. However, they shall be required to pay the applicable vendor setup fee associated with each city event or festival. All right. Be it further ordained that all other provisions of ordinance number 09/2006 and ordinance number 22/2007, not amended by this ordinance, are reaffirmed in total. Be it further ordained, if any section, subsection, paragraph, sentence, clause, phrase, or portion of this ordinance is for any reason declared illegal, unconstitutional, or otherwise invalid, such declaration shall not affect the remaining portions hereof. Be it further ordained that the mayor of the city and or his designate is authorized and directed to take all steps necessary to perfect this ordinance. Be it further ordained that this ordinance will be published in summary form. And it's read this the first time on the 21st day of October, 2019.
You mind reading that again?
Sure, Mayor, whatever you guys.
Good discussion. Anybody?
I've got, Dee, can you help me to kind of understand why we put the exemption on if the mobile vendor is just for the city event?
Then maybe-
What was the reason behind that?
I mean, that's been the
I think Sarah-
policy of operation for the last several years on city events. It's also a way, if you will, to make sure that the city events program is, because they charge a setup fee for the vendors, that we're tracking and generating the funds for the events program instead of receiving the money and tracking it through the finance department through a business license.
Let me tell you where I'm kind of uncomfortable with it. To me, when I read that, it sounds like we're making a rule or a law that the city doesn't have to abide by.
Well,
No,
let me just, I'm sorry, let me just answer, because, and Sarah maybe I'll address this, but like for Blues Box and Barbecue, we have a lot of vendors that only come in for just that event, correct, Sarah? So it's not like they come in any other time to the city, they're from out of
So are
town.
they exempt?
But
They're
But from that standpoint, Terry, I would agree with you. We are saying at city events, so if it is a private event that somebody puts on that is not city sponsored, then right, those people will have to have a business license. And if that group decides, I don't know how they operate. If they charge a setup fee or whatever, they would have to do that. So you're right, we are making a distinction between a city event and a non-city event.
But can you see where that sounds like that we're kind of making a rule that everybody else has to follow? For instance, if Rotary decides that they want to have an event, just like the city event, maybe we have something out at the lake and it's, a city event. And let's say Rotary wants to do something, or let's say that Green Space wants to do something, or let's say the Lions Club wants to do something, or Chamber of Commerce wants to do something. And they're bringing in somebody just specifically for that event, that they're not a food vendor. In other words, they don't set up downtown, they don't set up on the corners, they're just coming in for that one specific event. But they're gonna have to pay the $250, but if you come in for a city event, you don't have to pay the $250.
That is correct.
That is not correct, Ed, because if you remember the other ordinance that lists if it's a one-day event,
One
they
day,
are exempt. So if the event does not exceed, is it 2 days or 3 days, which is not being changed, that way it's not correct, that's why it's not correct. If there's only, if it does not exceed 2 days or does not exceed 3 days, they do not
I'm
have to
sorry,
have that.
that's the current.
Their exemption.
Okay, so.
So if
let's say-
Rotary or Oktoberfest,
Right,
their one day, their vendors do not have to pay that fee just for that event.
okay.
But like Tavern of the Garden, they have multiple events
Right.
throughout the year, that's a different situation.
Right.
I think. Or if we have a new festival come along, and it's it exceeds that, then those vendors will have to. This is more, of course, targeting the folks that are setting up for food truck Fridays on private property and things like that. But
I
for
feel
just
a
one
little
day
better about
events, they do not have to have
Okay.
this.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Okay, then we'll get to municipal orders. Start with municipal order number 54, 2019, approving contract with Stantec Consulting Services Incorporated for City of Elizabethtown, Buffalo Lake Dam, and Valley Creek Lake Dam. Steve, please.
At a regular meeting of the City Council of Elizabethtown, Kentucky, held on the date set out below, After first being read, a motion to adopt the following municipal order was duly made, seconded, and approved. Whereas the city developed a master plan for the development of its lakes and waterways to better serve the citizens of the city, and whereas the city has consulted with Stantec Consulting Services Incorporated relative to the necessary professional services for the recommissioning of Buffalo Lake Dam as well as the assessment of Valley Creek Lake Dam, now be it ordered that the city approves the contract with Stantec Consulting Services Incorporated for engineering services for recommissioning of Buffalo Lake and assessment of Valley Creek Lake Dam in an amount not to exceed $234,000. Be it further ordered that the mayor of the city and or his designate is authorized and directed to take all steps necessary to effect this order, including signing of all agreements, contracts, and documents. Read, adopted, and approved this is the 21st day of October, 2019.
Discussion. Need a motion second, Tim, please? Motion.
Second. I just wondered, was there a contingency allowance that the state or the state?
There is no.
So we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Which brings us to municipal order 55, 2019, authorizing the purchase of property located at 1110 St. John Road. Mr. Shaw.
At a regular meeting of the City Council of Elizabethtown, Kentucky, held on the date set out below, after first being read, a motion to adopt the following municipal order was duly made, seconded, and approved. Whereas the city desires to provide facilities for future growth of the community, and whereas the city owns the Elizabethtown Sports Park and wishes to assure that adequate land exists for future expansion at this park, be it ordered that the city of Elizabethtown authorizes the purchase of property and building located at 1110 St. John Road from Joe and Marlene Lucas in the amount of $800,000. Be it further ordered that the mayor of the city and or his designate is authorized and directed to take all steps necessary to perfect this order, including but not limited to the execution of a purchase agreement, applications, contracts, deeds, and subdivision plans. Read, adopted, and approved this is the 21st day of October, 2019.
Move to discussion. Motion and a second to adopt, please. Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Brings us to number 56, 2019, approving contract with CenterPoint Energy for natural gas supplies. Mr. Shaw.
At a regular meeting of the City Council of Elizabethtown, Kentucky, held on the date set out below, after first being read, a motion to adopt the following municipal order was duly made, seconded, and approved. Whereas the City of Elizabethtown has a current contract with CenterPoint Energy for brokerage services to supply natural gas to the Elizabethtown natural gas system, and the city wishes to continue this contractual relationship, be it ordered that the city approves the contract from CenterPoint Energy for a 2-year contract at a rate of inside FERC index plus 0.0025 per DT for natural gas supplies for fiscal years 2020 through 2021 and 2021 through 2022. Be it further ordered that the mayor is authorized to sign the base contract for the sale and purchase of natural gas published by the North American Energy Standards Board. Be it further ordered that the mayor of the city and or his designate is authorized and directed to take all steps necessary to perfect this order. Read, adopted, and approved this is the 21st day of October, 2019.
Any discussion? Matthew, it's safe to say that it's basically the same contract that we've been working off of. We're just renewing it for 2 more years, correct?
Yes.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Which brings us to municipal order number 57, 2019, approving agreement with American Engineers Incorporated for Fire Station number 2. Mrs. Shaw.
At a regular meeting of the City Council of Elizabethtown, Kentucky, held on the date set out below, after first being read, a motion to adopt the following municipal order was duly made, seconded, and approved. Whereas the City of Elizabethtown has selected a contractor to commence construction of Fire Station number 2, and whereas the city wishes to comply with the requirements of the Kentucky Building Code, now be it ordered that the City of Elizabethtown approves the agreement with American Engineers Incorporated for specialized inspections and construction testing services for Fire Station number 2, as required by the Kentucky Building Code for construction projects of this type in the amount of $22,748. Excuse me. Be it further ordered that the mayor of the city and or his designate is authorized and directed to take all the steps necessary to perfect this order. Read, adopted, and approved. This is the 21st day of October, 2019.
Do you have any discussion? Motion, please.
Motion to approve.
So one more.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, which will bring us to informational items. Trick or treat is on Halloween Day, which is October 31st, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So,
Is that officially sanctioned by Colonel Inman? I've had that rap once on that holiday.
I understand she's in favor.
Okay.
So Halloween night, make sure everybody has their porch light on and some candy out. Also, Lincoln Trail Health Department tomorrow night down at the community center, 6 to 8 p.m. is putting on a forum, community forum, to discuss vaping issues and the hazards and the different things that our kids and our youth and even the adults run into that pertains to vaping. So if you're interested in that and would like to learn more about it, look forward to having you down there at the community center from 6 to 8 tomorrow night. And then finally, our city surplus auction is going to be this coming Sunday, 10/27/19. We're gonna have lots of surplus auctions, surplus items from the city. It's gonna be done in conjunction with the Greater Hardin County Narcotics Task Force, so they're gonna have a lot of things there too. Lewis Auction Company's putting it on, so if anybody's interested in that, there'll be quite a bit of stuff down there to be auctioned off, and they'll have it on their website, and also some advertisements in the paper, the different things that'll be down there. So we hope that we get a big turnout for that. Should be pretty good. Oh, well, that's a good question. Starts at 2 o'clock on Sunday,
1:30.
1:30. 1:30, 1:30 on Sunday. I got that information somewhere, but I won't reveal it.
I'll be 30 minutes late, apparently.
So 1:30 on Sunday for our city surplus auction in conjunction with the Greater Hardin County Narcotics Task Force put on by Lewis Auction Company. And with that, does anybody else have anything? We are not going to closed session tonight, so I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
To adjourn. I can always get those, but